Hey guys, welcome back to the MyIBSLife podcast, or welcome if this is your first time. Regardless, I am so happy to have you here today, and I'm feeling emotional, and I'm sorry for it in advance. I am someone that is really not a touchy-feely person. I don't like to talk about my feelings. I get weird when I have to tell people I love them, which is so dumb. The closer you are to me in my life, literally my best friends, my parents, my husband, it's harder for me to say I love you to them. I don't know what that is. If anyone else feels that way, can you please diagnose me with something? Because I don't know what that is. And it's so stupid. But on days like today, when I'm flaring or not feeling well or just generally sick, I turn into the sappiest, the biggest baby ever. Excuse me. I'm burping. I also just ate, which was a bad idea to eat right before I do the podcast because I will be burping every 5 seconds. Apologies in advance for that. But yeah, it's the minute I don't feel good, I want to be held 24/7 by my husband, like a literal infant, okay? Everything makes me cry. Everything. I'm just generally I want to tell everyone that I love them and how much I appreciate them. I kind of think I'm not PMSing, despite what you might think. I'm not PMSing, but sometimes what I think it is when I'm feeling this way and I'm feeling sick and maybe a little bad about myself, I start to have that feeling of I'm a burden to everyone around me, and then I think I try to make up for that feeling by just telling the people I love that I love them and appreciate everything they do for me, and I just all the emotions come out. And then when I feel better tomorrow, I'm embarrassed by it. It's literally being hungover and having anxiety for the things you did while you were drunk and all the love you professed to people that you probably shouldn't have when you were drunk. You know what I mean? Very, very similar. But yeah, also, before we begin, how are you? I know you can't answer me, but I really hope you're doing well. And I feel us chronically in pain, chronically ill, whatever you want to call it, people don't always get asked how we're doing for 2 reasons. One, sometimes I feel we actually don't want people to ask how we're doing because it gets awkward when every time you have to be you either lie, just fucking straight up lie and say, oh, I'm good, how are you? When you're literally not doing anywhere close to good. And that gets annoying. Or it gets awkward when someone keeps asking you every day, oh, how are you? And you have to keep telling them that you feel like shit day in, day out. The other thing is sometimes people stop asking us how we're doing because they don't want to hear us complain day in and day out. And fair, I suppose, but it'd be like that. But I care, and I want to know the good, the bad, the ugly. So how are you guys doing? I hope 2024 has been treating you well so far. We're almost at the end of January, which is always the longest month of the year. It just feels like it goes by so slow. It's gray, it's dark out, it's nasty. And I hope y'all are feeling well. And if you're not feeling well, I'm with you. Today, I am here to complain, of course. What else do I do here? But about something kind of different. Okay, we're going to put the IBS to the side. We'll mention her probably a few times. We're going to put the IBS to the side, the emetophobia to the side, and today I'm going to talk about interstitial cystitis. And I'll probably be referring to it as IC from now on because saying interstitial cystitis is so annoying. But if you guys don't know what interstitial cystitis is, I'm going to tell you because I have my definition, but let me tell you what google.com, Dr. Google has to say. And it's really complex, okay? So just listen. Interstitial cystitis, also known as painful bladder syndrome, is a chronic painful bladder condition. That's the definition. That's it. A painful bladder condition. And you know what? Fair enough, because that is truly all I can describe it as either, is my bladder fucking hurts today. I also, when someone asks me what IC is, my definition is it is IBS of the bladder. It is a syndrome. There is no like cure for it. There are treatments, but it's again very much like what helps someone may or may not help the next person. It's very individualized. You have to pretty much find what your triggers are. Some people's triggers for IC is food. So you have to do like elimination diets for your bladder now and keep a food diary, all this stuff. Also, the way to describe IC is it just feels like having a UTI, like all the time when it's flaring up. And often people will think they have a UTI and then they'll like go to the doctor and get tested and the test will continuously come back negative. Although you feel like something is wrong down there. That might be IC. And it's coming out in like research. And I know a lot of dietitians I follow and stuff on Instagram have been talking about this, that it's more prevalent in women, of course. A lot of women, but also men with IBS also have IC. It's one of those things where once you have one chronic condition, once you have one chronic pain in the ass, you get another. So if you're feeling weird down there, hey, maybe go get checked out for IC. And I'll kind of go over like how I got diagnosed with IC. It's so fucking similar, dude, to the IBS saga. You're gonna see overlaps a lot while we're talking about this. But let me kind of just like go over the general symptoms of IC. I know I like kind of talked about it just now, but here's what Dr. Google has to say. People may experience bladder and pelvic pain or pressure and a frequent urge to urinate. So that's kind of like the UTI feeling of it all. Some people feel bladder spasms, which is what I feel. Some people even feel like that burning feeling when they pee. Again, going back to the UTI feeling. You might feel pain during not only urination, but also like while you're having sex. That can happen. I guess for men, you might also have pain in like the testicles. And excessive urination at night is interesting. Actually, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, that's kind of what IC is. It's again, just feeling like you have a UTI or like, for me personally, with my IC, like what I'm feeling right now, my bladder just hurts. And it's funny that they talk about on Google the excessive urination at night, because when my IC is flaring, it is always the worst in the middle of the night and when I first wake up. And what happens is, like a lot of times when I wake up in the morning, I never have to get up in the middle of the night to pee. Like, I'm just not that type of girly. Like, me and my bladder, we're usually good to go. We can hold it till the morning. It's not painful. It's just when I do get up and I go in the bathroom to do my skincare and stuff in the morning, like, yeah, I'll have to tinkle. Okay, but it's not a big deal. When my IC is flaring, even if there is 2 drops of urine in my bladder, it will wake me up in the middle of the night. It will be making me feel nauseous. My bladder feels like, picture a time where maybe you were in the car and your bladder was so full that you started having like pain, like cramping in your bladder, the bladder spasms, like feeling like I'm going to burst. My bladder is so full to the point it's making you bloated and just feeling like miserable. That's how it will feel for me in the middle of the night. And I'll get up to go to the bathroom, which again, I never do. But I'll go 2 drops. Okay? And that's what was causing all that mayhem in my bladder. It's kind of like when you're constipated and you're having like those horrible cramps. You feel like you're dying. You go sit on the toilet. You got 2 little pebbles coming out of you. And you're like, what the fuck? All of that for that? That's what it feels like. And that's what happened to me last night. I woke up at 4 a.m. I felt awful. I just felt so much pain in my bladder. I was so bloated, so uncomfortable. I was trying to ignore it. I was trying to just be like, go back to sleep, like whatever, because I knew what was happening. And no matter how I laid in my bed and stuff, I just could not get comfortable. Eventually, I got up, went to the bathroom, tinkled a little bit, and that was that. Now, sometimes I get immediate relief, even if it's just 2 drops. Like that's all I needed, and I'll feel so much better. But like times like last night, I went to the bathroom and I don't feel like my bladder's about to explode because it's full, but my bladder just like has hurt ever since. It's been hurting all day. It hurt the rest of the night. I couldn't sleep. And it's annoying. It's annoying. I'm literally sitting here. I was going to show you guys the heating pad I have on my bladder right now, but I also have my cat on my lap, which is very nice. So built-in heating pad. The purrs are very healing. We love it. But yeah, I'm sitting here with a heating pad, and I'm probably going to take like a hot bath later to try and minimize the pain. So that's kind of what it feels like for me, and that's what I'm dealing with right now. And for me, the only trigger that I have been able to pinpoint for my IC, because it happens like clockwork every single month, is that it flares the week after my period ends. So my period ends one day, and then I maybe have one day of feeling okay after recovering from feeling like shit from my period and my IBS teaming up to get me. I might have one day where I'm like, okay, I'm good. Next day, and for the rest of that week, I see flares. It is every single month, the week after my period. So I know it's a hormonal trigger, and I don't really know what to do about that. So if anyone else has IC and has figured that out for themselves, it's like a hormonal thing, let me know what you guys do to kind of take care of that. I know probably birth control and stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not a birth control girly. I've never been able to find a birth control that hasn't made me literally want to drop dead, because it makes me so sick. I've tried so many different types, so many different brands. I'm just not a birth control girly. Also, might be starting a family soon, hopefully, and I don't really want to get back on birth control anyway. But yeah, let me know if you've found anything else that helps. And it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. Now, I'll talk about kind of like how I got diagnosed with IC, because that's another question I get asked a lot when I start talking about this. Like I said, very similar to getting diagnosed with IBS. It was like I saw both a urologist, just a regular urologist, and a gyno urologist, which was kind of cool. But anyway, I saw both of them, and they both pretty much we did like urine samples. I had to collect my urine like over a week or so, and bring it back for analysis. I think I did like some blood work and stuff like that. Basically, it's like they test you for everything, and when everything comes back inconclusive or everything looks normal, you get the interstitial cystitis diagnosis. Just like IBS, when you go through all the tests and everything's coming back normal and you're still feeling like shit, they're like, oh, I guess it's just IBS. It is literally the same process. Which again, super frustrating. So that's how I did it. Saw a urologist, saw a gyno urologist, and got diagnosed just like through elimination, process of elimination of everything else. And that's how we ended up here. In terms of treatments, I really don't do anything for my IC, because one, I was given a medication a few years ago when I first got diagnosed with IC by my gyno urologist, and I just had no desire to take it because she gave me like, I don't know, 60 days worth of pills, and they're like these purple and blue pills. And she told me, she was like, when you take these, both your urine and your feces will turn neon blue. Hey, listen, girly, I've already got enough going on down there, okay? The colors coming out of me already frighten me, okay? The consistency, the urgency, there's already a lot going on. Not looking for the neon blue to switch things up. Would love to just have a normal bowel movement once in my life, okay? So that to me just didn't sound good. I also just truly felt like anything that is making stuff that is coming out of me neon blue consistently, it probably just isn't something I want to put in my body personally. So I never took it. And I kind of told her, I was like, I'm really not into that. The other thing was, I was like, what is this pill going to do for me? And she couldn't really tell me. Like she was kind of just like, oh, it like should make you feel better. It should make the symptoms less frequent. She kept saying should. And I know she can't promise me that, like, but I was just like, I'd rather just like take Tylenol or something when it's acting up than take this pill that's going to literally turn my insides neon blue. And you can't even tell me what it's going to do for me. Like, I don't know. It was a little sketchy, and it was kind of one of those situations where I felt like a doctor was kind of just pushing pills down my throat to get me to shut the fuck up and get out of their office. So that was that. Two, the reason I don't really do anything for my interstitial cystitis anyway is because most months when my IC does act up right after my period, it's not that big of a deal. A lot of months, it's just like a minor inconvenience. Like, yes, it'll feel painful in the morning when I wake up, like I was talking about before. I'll have to go to the bathroom, whatever. But then the rest of the day, I feel fine. It's usually after a really heavy period, a really bad period, when it feels like how it's feeling now, like more painful than usual. I'm bloated. I'm, nauseous, whatever from it. And I kind of just like suck it up while it's happening. This is not advice. I'm just telling you what I do. And again, if it is that bad, I will resort to taking like Tylenol, using a heating pad, making sure I'm wearing like really comfortable clothing down there. So I'm always in leggings anyway, but like really making sure I'm wearing things that aren't restricting me around my lower abdomen or bladder area, because that will make it 10 times more painful. And yeah, like that's really all I can do. I know that they say that like caffeine and stuff can also trigger IC. So I try to like not drink caffeine while I'm having IC flares and stuff. But that's all I really do for mine, since it's not like it's not like my IBS, where my IBS impacts my like daily life. My IC really only impacts me a few days of the month, and again, even when it does, it's usually not that bad. It's just like annoying for like an hour or two, and then that's it. But yeah, that's just kind of what's going on with me today and how my IC works personally. And it's fucking annoying, dude. I don't want to deal with this. It's okay. I keep telling myself that this is the worst of it. Like, I truly feel like today is like the height of like the symptoms and the pain. And hopefully like tomorrow I'll feel a little bit better. And then Friday I'll feel a little bit better. Friday's my birthday too. Guys, sidetrack. I'm pretty much done talking about IC at this point anyway, but oh no, I'm not. I actually wanted to say one more thing. But Friday's my birthday and I'm turning 30, and that's insane. Okay, if you're looking at me right now, did you think I was turning 30 this year? I would love to know. I love playing that game on my Instagram every year, the day before my birthday. I ask y'all, how old do you think I'm turning? You bitches better not cheat. But yeah, I'm turning 30 on Friday. I'm hoping my IC and my IBS and my emetophobia and everyone just chills the fuck out, because on Saturday we're going out to dinner with my whole friend group for my 30th. And I want to have a nice time, okay? But yeah, happy birthday to everyone else who has a January birthday, by the way. Twins. What I wanted to say about IC, and then I'm done, is my IC will trigger my IBS. So I've noticed that if, like, actually kind of concerned about today, like the chances of me having an IBSD attack today, higher than normal. because anytime that my bladder is spasming or having cramps or truly feeling like it's having contractions, it always causes my intestines to start cramping and give me diarrhea. I feel like I already feel it happening because I'm talking about it now. My body's in tune with what I'm saying. But yeah, it's so annoying. And again, it'll be, it's so annoying. It'll literally be one of those times that there's 2 drops of urine in my bladder, and then my bladder will go insane and be like, get it out! And like have a meltdown and start cramping and spasming. And then I'll go pee my little 2 drops of pee. And then my intestines are like, well, if the bladder is going to be dramatic, then I want to be dramatic too. And then I have diarrhea the rest of the night. And it's just not fun. So yes, IC can also lead to having like IBS attacks. And it's just so annoying. And I'm just not in the mood to be dealing with this today. But alas, 'tis life. 'Tis life, I suppose. So to any of you listening, if you have IC, let me know. Or if you're thinking like, hey, maybe I deal with that sometimes. Maybe I am thinking about IC. Tell me what your symptoms are. Tell me what helps you. Tell me what you think your guys' triggers are. I would love to hear it. I love hearing other people's. I hate hearing that other people go through this. I really, truly hate that with all of my heart. But I love hearing your guys' experiences with what works, what didn't work, and things like that. So that's all I really had to talk about today. That's all I needed to get off my chest and complain about. If you're still here, thank you. Love you so much. Appreciate you more than I could ever tell you. And I hope you have a great rest of your week or weekend or just day. Hope you have a great day. And I will talk to you guys next week about something. I'll find something else to complain about. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.